Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Caol Ila 12-year-old. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Caol Ila 12-year-old. Caol Ila is a Scottish whisky distillery from the Isle of Islay and it dates back to 1846. It's currently owned by Diageo and it's known for its lightly peated spirit, most of which goes into Johnnie Walker blends. This particular whisky is aged in primarily refill ex-bourbon casks. It's 43% ABV and it retails for £53 in the UK. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that's like a straw colour, but as far as I'm aware, this is lightly coloured. Let's start with a nose. Right, so to start, it has like a light wood smoke. I'm getting some sea salt. It's reminding me of like a fresh coastal breeze. It's very bright. There's like zesty aromas like lemon peel. I'm getting sweet powdered sugar. I'm getting green apple. And there's also a little buttery biscuit. There's also some medicinal notes in there like antiseptic. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so it starts off very sweet. I'm getting vanilla and I'm getting a little bit of honey. But the smoke, although that's obvious, it is a peated whiskey. I think the flavours that instantly ring with me are the sweetness. The smoke carries through from the nose. And it's like a slightly wafty, ashy wood smoke. It really is quite light and pleasant. And that wood smoke is really quite subtle. I like the way it wafts on the palate. It really is delicate, but it really is also quite present. Let's have another sip. Yeah, so I'm starting to get some fruit notes now. I'm starting to get citrus and apple. I think that works really well with the sweetness. It comes across as quite natural. The apple is like orchard fruits. And there's also a slight hint of pear for me as well. There's a slightly oily mouthfeel with a distinct salty or briny character, and that really complements the wood smoke. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, so all of the flavours that I've described so far, I think they combine really well. I think the smoke with the fruits and the sweetness are really good. There's also a touch of sort of peppery spice on the palate, and I think that integrates really well. In terms of finish though, I'd say it's very long. There's sweet smoke, there's a little ashy bonfire, there's vanilla, and I'm also getting a touch of aniseed. In terms of value, well, as I said, this retails in the UK for £53. And I think that is a retail price which is definitely inflated by Diageo. It's expensive when you compare what you can actually buy this for at most retailers. This sits around the sort of the £40 mark in the UK. You can find it from a number of retailers, and I think this being the sort of benchmark Caol Ila, the de facto core range Caol Ila, I think it's a good proposition. I think this is definitely a well-constructed dram. I think it's in the main affordable, and I think this is one for, dare I say, people that like peat. I think if you're a beginner, this might be a little bit too strong. I think the likes of Highland Park might be a lot softer to start with. But I think once you've started your sort of peat journey and you want to sort of get into sort of entry level peat, I think this is where you start. But I think if you're not into peated whiskey at all, then this is probably a little bit too much. Obviously, this isn't a very peated whiskey, and there are plenty of Islay whiskies which are heavily peated, but I think this is definitely not quite a beginner whiskey. I think this is probably a perma-shelf whiskey for a lot of people. I think if you want peat but you don't want something too strong, I think this is quite good. And I think a lot of people will appreciate the simplicity of this. It's sweet, it's smoky, and although there's not a lot going on, I think it is, as I said already, well constructed. But when you're spending this sort of money, I think you might be worth spending a little bit more, finding something from an independent bottler, finding something that just has a little bit more bite, higher ABV maybe, but this is a good starting point if you're unfamiliar with the brand. If you've tried this, then let me know in the comments and share your thoughts as always. And if there's another Caol Ila that you think I should try, then also let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Hopefully you found this interesting, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.